Hello, everyone. This is Daz, and this week's discussion is about the growing prevalence of witchcraft and some modern examples of it online. And we'll get into it after a message from our sponsor. If you're worried about the future, I don't blame you. Millions of Americans are quietly stocking up on emergency food. Should you? Ask yourself, do you currently have enough food on hand to get you through the next month? If not, you should strongly consider getting a 4-week emergency food kit from My Patriot Supply. They're the nation's #1 preparedness company, and their mission is your survival. They've served millions of American families, and they'd be honored to serve you too. Right now, you can save $50 off their 4-week emergency food kit, which comes with breakfast, lunch, dinner, drinks, and snacks. This food gives you the minimum requirement of 2,000 calories per day, and the special packaging keeps it fresh for up to 25 years in proper storage. You can't go wrong. Head on over to preparewithdaz.com and claim your 4-week emergency food kit at this special price. You'll save $50 per kit if you act now. That's preparewithdaz.com. Witchcraft, the occult, seances, hexes, all of these things that we've been talking about since the beginning of this channel are gaining headway. There is a growing fascination with all things supernatural, occultic, and dark. Back in April of 2021, the Financial Times put out this article: How to Perform a Hex on a Cheating Ex Using a Candle, a Wax, Seal, and Blunt Lemon, Divination with Coins and Pendulums to Discern Your Future, a medium's blow-by-blow account of a seance with a client. Welcome to the world of the online witch. On Instagram, 10 of the most popular witch accounts have more than 3 million followers, with half of those in the past year. On TikTok, videos with the hashtag WitchTalk have racked up more than 11 billion views, 2 billion more than hashtag Biden. With their glittery creations and dramatic spells, they offer a hint of the sensual aesthetic stimulation that we have been deprived of under lockdown, says Sabina Magliocco, a professor of socio-cultural anthropology at the University of British Columbia, Canada. It might have been incongruous that the esoteric and the occult are flourishing in the digital age, when the constant overexposure of social media threatens to destroy all mystery, but a search for ritual and order in the pandemic has proven a fertile moment for the magical, and it's finding a home on some of the internet's biggest platforms. Turbulent times often produce spiritual movements, says Sarah Harvey, a research associate in King's College London's Department of Theology and Religious Studies. The golden age of spiritualism was between the First and Second World Wars, she says. This is something Anna, a friend from London, agrees with. I've become more drawn to rituals, she says, such as marking the passage of the moon and reading tarot cards with the help of YouTube videos and a book. Anna says that she has dabbled in these practices before but became more interested under lockdown. Having time on her hands but also craving structure, she uses a secondary Twitter account to follow related content online. When you're using your Twitter for work, it could look a bit weird, she says. Twitter's TikTok and Instagram are just part of a long tradition of esoteric online, says Magliocco. The Witch's Voice website, which ran from 1997 to 2019, offered essays, music, and networking on pagan and Wiccan topics long before social media's arrival. Magliocco emphasizes that witch talk content is often more focused on aesthetics, that deep ritual, immersion, or belief. People study for decades to become adept at this stuff. Witch talk is almost a whiff at that. But magical content on social media is not all about spectacle. Georgina Rose, an occultist who runs TikTok and YouTube channels focus on the history and practices of magic, says that she appreciates the effort put into Witch Talk's videos but wants to offer something different with hers, which are often more didactic than dramatic. A lot of people don't know about the history of the philosophy beyond the popular ones on social media, she says. I went on to social media to make fun, appealing, attention-grabbing ways to introduce the deeper, heavier concepts. Amanda Yakerchak, a New York-based actress and witch points to another digital trend. More of her peers are using teleconferencing services for esoteric rituals. It is mixed blessings, she says. While it has allowed different groups to expand their networks across the country, reaching new and existing followers or experimenting with workshops, she emphasizes that in-person rituals are far preferable. Although the internet has helped to make the occult and esoteric more accessible to a wider audience, it has also provided a large platform for critics such as evangelical, fundamentalist, and alt-right personalities. This includes adherents of QAnon, super conspiracy theories, who believe the group pose an imminent threat to the spiritual and even physical health of children. Maglacoco says the QAnon, which is a lurid claim of satanic ritual abuse and sacrifice. It's a rebirth of moral panics about witchcraft that stretch back to Roman times, which reached a fever pitch in the 1980s and 1990s. There's a lot of less misinformation that there once was, but definitely some nervousness at times about this stuff, adds Rose. It's something that always is in the back of my mind. The popularity of digital witchcraft is much more a testament to the value of a ritual and ceremony in grounding our lives as the hectic, disordered times we live in. The mysteries of the metaphysical and the arcana of algorithms make for a powerful mix. So I just wanted to share that article and show how you're seeing more and more of social media being used for blatant witchcraft. I noticed that on YouTube there's a lot of recommendations for tarot readings, spells, and it seems to be growing, especially among the youth. And as you could see, there was a slight at those who disagree with them by talking about fundamentalist and automatically putting people into a camp with QAnon, which is crazy, but it just goes to show the way a lot of these things are reported on. Also, in the realm of witchcraft, there are witches who are trying to organize a mass hexing against the Taliban, and this was reported by the Daily.com. A popular subreddit dedicated to witchcraft is currently debating whether it could be useful to carry out a mass hexing against the Taliban. Following the militant group's swift takeover of Afghanistan this week, self-described witches on Reddit's r Witchcraft forum began concocting plans to battle the Taliban with the work of magic. In a post to the subreddit, more than 254,000 members on Monday, one user attempted to rally all available witches to take on the militant group. I'm looking to organize a mass hexing of the Taliban forces in Afghanistan right now, the user wrote. Nothing has been put together yet, but I'm looking for people who are wiser than I in this sort of magic. I just want as many forces as possible working against them as we can muster up. I'll provide the link to this article. I'm not going to finish reading it, but as you can see, even things like that. I remember back when Trump was elected, and I believe it was Lana Del Rey, some other witches wanted to hex him as president. So, as you can see, the prevalence and the popularity of witchcraft, hexing, love spells, curses, all of that is becoming more and more the norm. And I'm not too surprised by this, given even today is September 22nd, which marks the fall equinox, which is a high time of ritual. Be mindful of what you watch and the content that your kids consume. But I'd like to know what your thoughts are on the growing fascination with the occult among people during this pandemic. Do you believe a lot of them are turning to it because they have been isolated and they're looking for answers? They're seeking the spiritual? And I'll talk to you guys in this Thursday's live stream tomorrow at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. I hope you have a wonderful week. Take care and God bless.